good life, right? A good life is a life. The good life is the life you will consider good when you are on your dying bed. If you want to know what a good life is, go talk to someone that's dying, or imagine yourself on your dying bed, right? Imagine yourself on the dying bed. I was sharing with someone the other day. Sometimes some things look so good in the moment. Oh, if I do it right now, I must do it. If I don't do it, it looks so good in the moment. They look like it's life and death in the moment. If only you can hold yourself and look into the future, go into the future and look back. Look back at that state you are in the present. Look at the present from the future, and you would say, I'm going to regret doing this. Oh, how can I do that? But if you're lost in the moment, you might think that that is the most important thing in your life. In my business, right? I'm a wells engineer, right? I work in the oil field. When we plan, we always plan. We always plan with the end in mind. We'll go to the end. Why are we doing this? And begin to plan backwards. And that's the same thing. That's the same thing Stephen Covey tells us. He says, how does it spell it out? That's the habits anyway, but I'm going to quote it. I can't decipher it immediately right now. But you must always have the end in mind. The way to plan your life, the way to have a good life is imagine yourself on the dying bed, right? Imagine yourself on the dying bed, right? Just imagine yourself on your dying bed. You're dying. What are the things that will matter to you when you're on your dying bed, right? What are the things that will matter to you when you're in dying bed? That's the question you need to ask. What would you want to have said of this? What would you want to see? What life would you want to have lived if you are when you're in your dying bed? How would you want people to see you? What would you want people to say about you? My mama passed on this Monday, right? And my mama lived a good life. My mama lived a good life, you know. But it's just that place again to remember, you know, when you're on your dying bed, what would you want people to say about you? I'm about to do that. I'm about to ask myself when I'm on my dying bed, what will I want if my father was alive? What would I want him to say about me? What would I want my mama to say about me? What would I want my wife to say about me? What would I want my children to say about me? What would I want my siblings to say about me? What would I want you to say about me? Look, I'd seen this. This is the deja vu. I've been here before because I saw it and I wrote it down. What would I want people to say about me? I know I'm a teacher, right? So I wrote down what I want as a teacher. I want to be able to teach in such a way that people will understand. I don't want to speak big English. I want people to be able to say that he spoke and we understood. He spoke and the light came on. He spoke and the light came on. He spoke and the light came on. I wrote that. That's what I want to be. I want people to say about me on my dying bed. That's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do the way that I do it. I am living by purpose. They say, why that I'm living by? I am not doing this by chance. I am not an accidental teacher. I am not here by chance. It has already been planned. It has already been written down. I've already written down what I want to see on my dying bed. It says a good life is a life you will consider good when you are on your dying bed. It's not the life you consider good just now, because now you have emotions and all of that. Oh, someone wants to give me 5 million, and I think that that's the best thing in sliced bread. It might be okay in the now. Is it okay when I'm on my dying bed? When I'm thinking about it on my dying bed, will it still be okay? I work with a lot of beautiful, stunningly beautiful people, and I'm a man. My batteries are well charged. My body is saying this. It might look so good in the moment. I could do it in a moment. How will it look when I'm down my dying bed? Will I say, oh, you did a good thing? It might make sense in a moment. Does it make sense in eternity? Does it make sense when I'm on my dying bed and I'm thinking about what I did? You need to judge your life based on what you will consider good when you're in your dying bed. Don't be ruled by emotions. Don't be ruled by feelings. These things become clear in the face of death. When you don't, when you think they're immortal, things are blurred, and you think you don't have to say, I lived a good life. Like I said about my mama, I can say my mama lived a good life. Will I be able to say that about myself when I'm on my dying bed? Would you be able to say that about yourself when you're dying bed? Every day of my life, I live to be able to say that. Every day of my life, I live for what I will say when I'm on my dying bed. And it's not just on my dying bed. I'm going to have to go into eternity. I'm going to have to meet God. My spirit will return to God. Will I be able to give a good account of what he gave to me? Will I be able to say, God, I lived a good life? The spirit you gave to me, I lived a good life with it. Will I be able to say that? That is the definition of a good life. A good life is the one I'm able to report back to the master. I lived well with, I did something good with. If I cannot do that, I'm not living a good life. A good life is a life you will consider good when you are on your dying bed, when you are in the face of mortality. That is a good life. A good life is not a happenstance. It will not just going to happen by dying. A good life. A good life is one you plan for, you work for. You have to plan for it, you have to work for it. It doesn't just happen. It's not a miracle. It's not magic. You have to work for it. You have to sow for it. You have to labor for it. A good life is one you labor for, you sow for. A good life is a harvest. It's the result of the right sowing, right? A good life is one you create by a structured plan and definite actions. A structured plan and definite actions. That's what will give you a good life, right? A good life will not just happen, right? Just quickly going back, talking about happiness. Happiness is a personal decision, right? It is a personal decision. It is a responsibility. It is an adventure, and it is a venture, right? And all of that, look at it from the place of good life. A good life is a personal decision. It is a responsibility. It is an adventure. It is a venture, right? Happiness is not tied. Happiness or a good life is not tied to a location, a place, a person, or any particularity. It's all about you. Having a good life is about you. You are your own happiness. You are your own good life. Only you can give yourself a good life. No one else. Not even God can give it to you. Not even God. God will give you the things you need for it. But whether you have a good life or not, it's up to you. Not God, but you. You are the master of your fate. You are the master of your destiny, not God. You are the captain of your soul, not God. God will give you the things you need. You have to drive the ship. You have to do the work. You have to do the sowing, not God. God is available to everybody. Not everybody will succeed. Because success or failure is what you do with what God has given. Happiness is a spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. A good life is a spiritual experience of living every minute, every moment with love, grace, and gratitude. Right?